It's a notorious kill zone, man.
Oakland, California, home to some of the most violent gangs in America. Here, almost 10,000 gang members rule with deadly force, recruiting young teens.
One in the head will do it, 2, 3.
Running drugs, selling guns, and murdering on a whim. Now an elite police unit made up of just 8 men fights to bring justice to the streets. And the top gang lords are arrested to make Oakland safe again. But something has gone terribly wrong.
80 people have been killed in Oakland this year.
Police officers shot. They say 4 men were killed.
Oakland, California. Ground zero in a new American war. Violent street gangs fight over drug turf, and the battle is only escalating. Oakland has one of the highest murder rates in the country. Over 300 killed in the last 3 years alone. And the death toll rises as gang members retaliate against each other, only perpetuating the violent cycle. Gang membership has increased tenfold in the past decade. They are all foot soldiers, carrying out the rules of the street by any means necessary.
Trust me, man, it's crazy out here, man.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
It's good. You see that?
That's
It's 4-5, man.
You see how big the bullet is, though?
We don't play, nigga.
We hit
Big,
man.
Anybody trying to hate on us? What's the
This bullet got
your name out there right here. You ready for anything? You anything at any time.
The gangsters here are armed and getting younger by the day. And nearly all of them are black or Latino. An unfortunate reality of crime in Oakland, where homicide is the leading cause of death for black youth under the age of 25. The statistics are grim, but for the law-abiding citizens of Oakland, there is one source of hope. This is the 8-member gang unit who fight daily to reclaim the streets. Some of whom were born in the very same neighborhoods as the gangs.
Keep yourself up before I release the dog. The dog will find you, the dog may bite you.
Come on, knock your hands up before I set the dog.
They may be a small force, but they are tactical and highly trained. That's because this mere 8-man team is up against an estimated 10,000 gang members.
Hey, Sereno? Yeah? What are you doing over here in Border Brother territory?
I'm not naive enough to think we're going to stamp out crime or gang activity in Oakland. That's not going to happen. But if we can keep these guys on their heels, maybe they think twice. It's a series of small battles, but you always know there's going to be something else on the road.
And this is that our seller we're looking for?
The unit chooses its battles one raid and one arrest at a time.
Rock cocaine and marijuana.
But the violence just keeps on. Oakland is a city of just 400,000 residents, but nearly 10,000 gang members have carved up an 11-square-mile region known as the Flatlands. This is the battleground in the ongoing war. And as the year comes to a close, the violence shows no signs of stopping.
80 people have been killed in Oakland this year.
A violent weekend in Oakland has left 7 people dead.
But it wasn't supposed to be this way.
Violent weekend in Oakland, and once again, young people have paid the price.
This year was supposed to be different.
Hundreds of law enforcement officers from various state agencies teamed up today to carry out a massive gang roundup.
June 2008. After months of wiretaps and stakeouts, the Oakland police launched Operation Nutcracker, aimed at smashing the gang problem in the city. More than 40 guns are taken off the streets, stashes of drugs are confiscated, and most importantly, 54 of the most wanted gang members. Leaders like MAC.
Acorn is dominant force around here, you know what I'm saying? Acorn niggas, no, I don't be just because you from Acorn.
MAC purportedly ran the infamous Acorn Mob. Like many of Oakland's gangs, Acorn thrived by running drugs, prostitutes, and guns, and enforced their dominance through intimidation and even death.
They were probably the most violent street gang that we have come across in quite some time. from his lack of fear to use violence. They idolize him.
MAC is an alleged kingpin of Oakland's gangs. He was an enforcer, accused of unleashing violence when necessary. This was his life on the streets. And this is his life now. In jail, facing charges for conspiracy to commit murder. He wears the scars of a life lived on the street, the violent life of a gangster. For MAC, these scars are a badge of honor.
I've been shot 20 times.
Had a couple wounds up in here, pelvis, this. Bottom of my buttocks. I don't know how that one didn't paralyze me. This here, I got shot 5 times with a 40. Then I got shot 2 more times.
But going behind bars at Santa Rita Jail is a homecoming of sorts for MAC. Just like on the streets, in here, it's a world of gangs. Of the 4,000 inmates at Santa Rita, more than half are classified gang members. This is what justice was supposed to look like. A jail filled with Oakland's top gangsters. But with those like MAC, who held their power through violence and intimidation, now behind bars, a new generation of gang member is taking over. These gangsters idolize their leaders, like MAC, but they're taking the violence in a whole new direction.
It's how we get out, straight up.
You got individuals with guns, you got individuals that don't care about life. They gonna do what they gonna do.
4 shootings over 7 hours. These numbers alone are astounding.
You don't have to have permission to kill somebody now, you know what I mean? Now, it's in shambles. It's almost like a third world country.
Police are investigating Oakland's 3rd murder of the weekend.
Since Operation Nutcracker was completed, there have been 80 murders in Oakland. Most carried out by a younger crowd in a more violent type of gang justice, where one killing is answered by another. And the funerals continue.
If you continue in your sins, all you got to look for is death.
Lying in an open casket is Oakland murder number 112, known to his family as Ronnie Greer, son of Lanika Shelton. Ronnie was just 16 years old when he was shot and dumped alongside a highway. And though not officially in a gang, his circle of friends included the Squad Boys, considered by the police to be one of hundreds of smaller gangs in Oakland.
Come out of that environment, and you won't get caught up.
Whether Ronnie was a target or an accidental killing is unclear. In Oakland, it can be hard to tell the difference.
There's always things going on in Oakland. It's scary. I mean, it's like you wake up today and you just never know if you're gonna be here tomorrow.
With Ronnie dead, everyone expects retaliation. In Oakland, no killing is left unanswered.
I don't agree with it, but I understand why you young men carry a gun, and I know some of y'all up in here got one right now. But the cold thing about it is, all y'all in here, and somebody here know who did it. I wouldn't even be surprised if the person who did it is among us.
It makes you want to go out there and take their life too. I mean, you don't have no reason to be here. You don't deserve to live. You ain't killed my family member or my loved one.
And God just don't know how I feel in the inside. I just can't believe that they killed my baby. He deserved to be here with his family. I deserve to have a chance to see my son grow up. He didn't deserve to die.
Right now, a new target is forming.
May we all stand?
In the shape of Ronnie Greer's killer. In Oakland, justice can come from the hands of revenge or from the police. It's just a matter of who gets there first. Up next, deep inside Oakland's game of drugs, money, and violence. And then a trip to the killing zone.
Care what the cameras say, I don't give a about that.
And later, 4 officers are gunned down on the deadly streets of Oakland.
Suspect is a male block.